What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel and to another video. So in the last video you saw we fitted the sill finally, and we've managed to get the outer inner arch fitted as well to the car. Making real good progress on the body now. Feeling a lot more confident in fabrication and in welding as well. The shell is definitely headed in the right direction, so it's now time to start thinking a little bit more about other elements. I don't want to go focusing on the shell, not worrying about anything else, engine, gearbox, suspension, things like that, and then at the end, when they've got a nice finished shell, go, oh, I really need to start sorting the other bits out. I'd like other bits going on at the same time, so hopefully the car comes back together and gets back on the road a little bit quicker. So this episode is going to be a little bit different from the content that we've been putting out recently. It's not fabrication or anything. This episode is going to be about a company called D2D Blasting. So D2D Blasting are a vapour blasting company based in Leicestershire. I know the guys already. I've known them for a few years now, and when they saw I was doing the project, they said, right, we want to be a jump on board. We want to help you out with any vapour blasting needs that you've got. So I was like, brilliant, okay, we'll sort some stuff out and get over to you. So D2D Blasting are local if you're in Leicester, but they are also doing a mail order service, which is this box right here. So you get a nice big sturdy plastic box that you can fill to the brim with as many parts as you want for one price. So in that price, everything that's in the box gets blasted. It can't weigh, the box cannot weigh any more than 28 kilos though, for postage reasons mainly. Couriers won't pick things up bigger than that unless they're on pallets and things. So when you place the order with them, you pay your amount, they send you the box out with this hook and the scales, some cable ties to cable tie the box back together, a form you fill out to sort of explain about what it is, who you are and what you want, and then you just chuck it, fill all your parts in, get it all sorted and weighed. They then arrange the courier to come and pick it up, and you then get this box back with nice, new, shiny, clean parts in it. So what parts are we going to be sending to be blasted? So we're going to be sending the cylinder head, the inlet manifold, and then a few other seal plates and things off the engine. There isn't a massive amount, things like water pump, things like that, we will just replace brand new because of sort of how much they are. When you send it to them, we've got to strip the head down and the manifold down to just the aluminium parts. So as you can see, I've started taking the valves out of the head. I'll go through and show you a little bit about that. You may never have seen it before. I've not done it for years. So yeah, it's taken a bit of thought to get it back in there and get going. We're going to strip the inlet manifold down, make sure that all the seals and bolts and things are off of these plates. We'll then get it in the box and get it over there and get it all blasted and show you that process as well, because it is quite an interesting one. I've seen them do a few little bits when I've been in and out of their place. So the valves we've got to take out of the head. What are they and how do they work, whatever. So there's the valve. That goes in through the head. You've got inside the head, you've got a brass valve guide. You've then got this, which is the spring seat. This here is the valve oil seal. It would then be they'd be sat something like that in the head. You've then got a smaller spring and a bigger spring that go over like that. You've then got this, which is sort of the top hat that goes on there, and you've then got these. So you see the valve's got those grooves in. You've then got this little piece, which is tapered. You have one that's tapered like that. You have two of them on the valve like that, and then that top hat goes in, and then obviously the pressure between the head compresses the spring, keeps all of that in place. On top of that, you've got your cam follower, if you like, that goes on top of there, and that there is then where your cam pushes down on, compresses that spring, opens the valve to either let air fuel mixture in or let your exhaust gases out. So these are a combination of steel and all sorts of different things, so we don't want them in when it's going to go in and be wet blasted, so we've got to take them out. So I'll just put all this back where it was, and then we'll start. I've took 4 out already and we'll take the other 4 out. So how do we get the valves out? when they are under tension on the spring, and it's a bloody strong spring. We've got one of these. Now this isn't the best bit of kit I've ever used, because it's a bit of a manual one. It's a thread. I'd rather have a clamp type, but it's what we've got, so it's what we'll use. So you've got there, if you can see, there's obviously the top of the valve and the top hat, and then there's the bottom of the valve in the combustion area of the head. So I've got to put the spring compressor on the bottom of the valve, and then put this onto the top of the spring, and then wind it up, and that obviously closes the gap up between these two bars, compresses the spring, and allows you to be able to get it all off the head. Now it's gone into the wrong place because it's moved, and when you put it under tension, you might be putting a lot of tension on it, and then all of a sudden there'll be a ping and it will go, and that's just because it's released the tension or the pressure from where it was all sort of held together. And then from there, you're going to get a pick or a straight and try and fish them out. Now you can use a magnet, but I tried using a magnet on the others and it didn't work. So there's them two. There's them two out of that. Then we undo this, and everything should just then come out. So then, top out and two springs, push the valve through. There is that valve. So it springs back on, top out back on, and we'll tape these back to it as well. So we'll put masking tape on them to hold them in place, so the spring stays completely built like that. So we've got reference to where it all goes. It's pretty obvious, but so we know. What we also need to do is make sure that the valves stay and go back into the same place. So on this box, you see here, I've put 1 exhaust in, 2 exhaust in. So we'll now do 3, and this changes, I think, and it goes, yeah, in, and then exhaust, and then 4 in, exhaust. So then we can pop them valves into the correct places. Now the oil seals we don't worry about because we're going to be replacing them. Yes, it's a cardboard box. Yes, I'm drilling it. But it creates a neat hole. And that one is cylinder 3 inlet. So that's in there. Now to get these oil seals out, you can see in there, this one here hasn't got the oil seal in. This one here has. So you can see the difference. Probably can't, but anyway, to get the oil seal out, all you want, well, it's worked on the last ones, a pair of long nose pliers, a bit of a wiggle, a bit of a pull, and that comes out, and there's your oil seal. So you don't need to worry about that. And then from there down, you've then got this spring seat. So you can pop the spring seat. So what? We'll put it on there. We'll do it properly. We'll put the spring seat on there, and then the oil seal doesn't matter because we're replacing it. We'll go back and put them back in. So continue that. Let's get the other 3 valves out. Now we have all the valves removed from it, so we've now got to remove these studs, so I'll go and find some nuts to remove these. Oil seals, they will come out in bits and what have you. We're not worried about them, we don't need them. So let's continue stripping this down. And this is that box that I imagine every garage has got. And I like to refer to it as the get me out the shit box, because it is full of random nuts, bolts, trim clips, hose clips, all sorts of clips. And it does, and it has on several occasions got me out of shit. So that's the head, stripped down now. Got all the studs out of it, valves are out of it, everything's out and it's clear and ready to go over to the blasters. Now we're going to start stripping down the inlet manifold, just to get it down to its sort of aluminium components. So get that started, get it all ripped out. There we are, stripped and ready to go. So we've got the cylinder head all stripped, we've got the inlet manifold stripped and ready to go. Throttle body has also been stripped, it's got the butterfly out of it and everything like that. Now that is a pretty, I wouldn't say complex thing, it's not like a carb, but there's a bit of linkages and whatever going on. So I've made sure I've put all that back together. It does need a damn good clean, but we'll get around to that. And we've then got a few other bits off the engine that are aluminium. So we'll get them loaded into the box and get them taken over to D2D Blasting for them to work their magic. Comes with lots of nice packing to pack all your parts in. Now, I'm driving them there, so that will do. There we go, cable tie that up. They'll send you the postage label, they'll collect it, do all the work, and then send back to you perfectly clean, ready to use parts. Right then guys, took the drive over and we've made it to D2D Blasting now. So the box of stuff is down there. This is the machine that we're going to be doing it on, so I'll just sort of show you around it, what it is. I don't really know what I'm talking about, but we'll make out that I do. So this is the contraption that we're going to be using. It's basically, it looks like just a sandblaster or a media blaster, but it's got water, media, which is glass bead, and then compressed air. And I think the idea is the water just sort of softens the bead a bit, so it's not quite as harsh. Really, because there's water involved, it's only for sort of aluminium and things of that nature. You can't really do it on steel because obviously it's just going to rust. But enough of me pretending to know what I'm doing. Let's get the guys in, get the parts unpacked, and make a start on cleaning them up. Let's roll.
Right.
See what we've got.
Nice.
Some very rough looking parts at the moment anyway. So
right, let's start with the edge, shall we, Dan?
So we'll leave him doing that. Let's cut to the GoPro, see what's going on inside the machine, and then hopefully we'll see some nice shiny parts at the end.
Half an hour for for you, so we'll have a look and see the difference. Bearing in mind it's not finished yet.
Look at that, looking much better. Man, look at the difference. Man, that looks amazing.
Pretty cool, eh, mate?
Hell yeah, right.
Right, I'll get on with the rest of it for you, mate.
And there we have the box parts back from them having all been cleaned. Now I did make a bit of a mistake in the opening bit. They won't send you the parts back in the plastic box, they send you back in cardboard boxes with cardboard packaging so they don't get damaged. This way you've not got to ship, they've not got to ship the plastic box back to them, you can just dispose of the cardboard and get it recycled yourselves. So let's get these parts out because I'm really excited to see how much better they're looking. So here are all the parts which look absolutely amazing. Let's show you around them. Look at these. Now I'll put a picture in now of what they look like before. And look how clean they are. Look at how good these look. Like new. I mean, bit of pitting, but they are pretty old parts. So yeah, look at them. They look absolutely awesome. They've managed to clean most of the carbon out of all of the exhaust, all the rubbish that was on the inlets. Absolutely awesome job. What a transformation on them parts. So parts that looked before like they were sort of not beyond use, but had seen better days definitely, are now looking factory fresh and ready to go back onto a brand new built engine. So if you've got any of your blasting needs, I think the service that D2D Blasting, door-to-door blasting, are offering is brilliant. They don't want sort of people dropping in and things like that, especially at the moment during COVID. So the service they're offering as a buy it, they ship a crate to you, you fill it up and send it to them, then they ship the parts back to you all nice and done, is a great idea. The crates the payload of the crates is 20 kilos, weighing up to a maximum, obviously, of the 28 kilos. If they do go over that, they then get charged £90 per box that's over. So yeah, it's really key to make sure that when you're weighing them, you make sure that you don't go over that weight limit. They also say the best thing you can do is if you've got things that you're sending off, and strip them down as much as you can. Because obviously the more steel and other elements like that you take out of them, bearings and things, the more you take out, the lighter it'll be. And if the more aluminium bits you put in, the more value for money it is. I don't know the ins and outs of the business and absolutely everything to do with it. I'll put a link in the description to their website. Go over, have a look. Very, very helpful, guys. If you've got any questions, drop them an email and they'll get back to you as quick as they can with hopefully the answer that you're looking for. The standard cost for the boxes is £195. Now I believe that includes shipping anywhere in the mainland UK. Sort of Highlands and places like that, I think there's an extra charge on that, but you have to check with those guys. But They're absolutely brilliant. I'm so happy with the way that these have turned out. Revive some parts that are going to look absolutely awesome on this rebuilt engine. So we now need to try and find somebody to overhaul the head and overhaul the block and sort all the piston rings and everything like that out and get us back to sort of a kit that's ready to be reassembled. I'll be reassembling the engine myself. It just needs all the work doing, valves reseating, head skimming, bores possibly need honing, oversized rings after the hone and all that. The crank needs a look at just to check that that's okay. I think it's okay, but you never know, it might need a regrind or something. And then we need to start sourcing new parts for it to be able to assemble it. Shouldn't be too big of a job. It's a pretty small, compact engine. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to start rebuilding this engine pretty soon. So massive thank you to the guys at D2D Blasting for sorting all these parts out. I think it's a great idea of a mail order blasting service, especially at these times during COVID. You can pack it all up, send it off, and get back nice, clean, fresh stuff ready to reassemble. So that's that one then, guys. Another one done. Hopefully it's been quite an enjoyable episode to watch and seeing a process that I've never really seen much on, and sort of answered maybe some questions that you may have had as to what it was and how it all worked. So another video done, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully it's been enjoyable and you've got a little something out of this and you understand the process of media blasting a little more. We'll get these all on the rack and start sorting out other areas of the engine to hopefully start rebuilding that pretty soon. But we shall leave it there. Thank you all so much for watching. It really does mean so much. Until next time, guys, enjoy.